This is huge for the New York Knicks as they get key contributions from everybody on the team, from Delon Wright starting to OG Anunoby continuing to show why he should maybe be the third option for the New York Knicks. The Knicks go into Milwaukee and they leave with a W. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel, and let's get right into today's video. So if you guys caught the live that I did prior to today's game, I was actually talking about Tyler Kolek getting the starting point guard position since Cam Payne is out, since Deuce is out, since Jalen Brunson is still dealing with that ankle injury. I actually thought that Tyler Kolek was going to get the starting nod tonight. But to my surprise, and I think to a lot of Knicks fans' surprise, Delon Wright ended up getting the starting point guard position for tonight's game. Delon Wright, he had a really good game, man. Throughout the whole telecast, Alan Hahn was saying how he is known more as a defensive player. But for the most part, he was able to show why he does what he has offensively. I mean, in the first quarter alone, Delon Wright ended with 10 points. For the first half, he ended with 12 points. 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point line. And that's what he ended up with for the rest of the game. Now, the situation with Jalen Brunson being out, Deuce and Cam, I don't really think this is like a huge Coach Tibbs epiphany and he's going to change his coaching philosophy. I think this is just really the situation that he's in, and he only had Tyler Kolek and Delon Wright. Even though we were all a little surprised that he did choose Delon Wright over Tyler Kolek, it's not an epiphany by Coach Tibbs. He was just put in a situation where he had to make a decision, and he chose DeLon Wright. But DeLon Wright came into the game, had key contributions, making key defensive stops, hitting key shots, specifically in the first half. So that was definitely one of the big storylines from today's game. Honestly, what I really want to talk about OG, man. OG ended the game with 31 points, 9 of 21 from the field, 3 of 10 from three-point line. That's not great. Converting all 10 of his free throws with 2 rebounds, with 2 assists, with 3 steals in the 36 minutes that he played. Mikal Bridges had a good game as well, and I'll get into him in a little bit. But what I really want to focus in on is OG Anunoby. For the longest, I've always had it in the back of my mind as, why is Mikal Bridges? I mean, I understand why Mikal Bridges is getting all the flack, as why he's getting all the pressure as far as being the third option. But I think at this point of the season, we kind of see what Mikal Bridges is, and we kind of see what he's gonna be for the remaining of his Knicks tenure. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and hopefully that changes, especially next season. And maybe even this season when Jalen Brunson comes back from his ankle injuries, maybe he actually saw something while he was out and he saw something that he's able to implement Mikal Bridges in the offense. Hopefully I'm wrong. But as far as what I've seen so far this season, Mikal Bridges, he's been pretty much just a corner boy. Just put yourself in the corner, watch Cat and Jalen Brunson do their pick and roll, do their pick and pop, and you're gonna try and contribute whenever you can. But to bring it back around to OG Anunoby, in my opinion, I think if there's going to be anybody that's a third option, I think OG Anunoby is the actual answer. OG Anunoby tonight fully displayed his capabilities. I gave you his box score, I gave you his stat line, but the whole third option situation with Mikal Bridges, I honestly think that we should be looking at OG Anunoby. Now, what I think is actually going to happen when Jalen Brunson comes back, I think things are gonna go back to what they were. Jalen Brunson, the usage rate that he has is gonna go back to what it was prior to the ankle injury. He's gonna be running pick and roll with Cat. He's gonna be running pick and pop with Cat. And Mikal is gonna be in the corner. OG Anunoby is gonna be a little bit more involved in the offense than Mikal. But if there's anybody that deserves to be the third option, I think it's OG Anunoby. But what's probably gonna happen is that third option is probably gonna be done. It's probably going to be a committee, if anything. It's probably going to be a mixture of Mikal, of OG, of anybody, of Josh Hart as well, of Deuce whenever he comes back healthy. I think that third option is really going to be fulfilled as a committee thing. But OG Anunoby tonight, man, he had a really good game, and he just continues to impress me game after game, seeing what he's been adding to his offensive game. He added this new move where he puts the ball in front of him, and it's kind of like James Harden. It's kind of like SGA. He puts the ball in front of him, and then he drags his arms up because the defender's arm is already out, and that's an automatic foul. And OG, like, we didn't know that he had these offensive capabilities, but huge shout out to OG Anunoby. Now, going to Mikal Bridges ended the game with 26 points, But in the first half, Mikal was a little bit on a heater, ending with 19 points, 9 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. For the game, he ended with 26 points, 12 of 24 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3-point line, with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals in the 38 minutes that he played, continuing his Iron Man streak. Of course, we all, as Knicks fans, we all like to see this aggression from Mikal Bridges. But again, I'm going to bring it back to what I was just talking about a couple minutes ago. When Jalen Brunson comes back, what is Mikal Bridges going to look like? Is he going to continue his aggression with the way he's been playing since Jalen Brunson has been out? Or is he going to revert back to what it's been like all season and him just being in the corner? Now, some of it can fall on Coach Tibbs. Some of it can actually fall on his shoulders because he needs to be able to realize that the abilities that he has, he's able to offer so much more. We do have to talk about the contribution that Landry Shamet had in tonight's game. 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3-point line, with 2 assists and 1 steal in 20 minutes that he played. I did talk about the bench depth in the live that I did prior to this game. Whenever everybody's healthy, and depending on what Coach Tibbs does towards the end of the season and in the actual playoffs, and we actually saw a little bit of it in the first half with the lineup with Cat and Mitchell Robinson in it. So we saw a little glimpse of what that could look like. It did seem like Cat and Mitchell Robinson, they still need to work things out because I think there was a turnover where Cat threw the ball out of bounds. He expected Mitchell Robinson to be somewhere. So that's going to have to be worked out. But whatever Coach Tibbs decides to do towards the end of the season and into the playoffs, depending on matchups, if Mitchell Robinson is inserted into the starting lineup, then Josh Hart more than likely is going to go to the bench. So that's probably going to be Josh Hart, Deuce, and Precious are going to be the first 3 coming off the bench. And then if Coach Tibbs is going to want to extend that 8-man rotation to a 9, me personally, tonight was a perfect example as to why I think Landry Shamet should be that 9th person. Campaign is out with an ankle injury, so he can't really plead his case. But Landry Shamet, look at what he did tonight. I gave you the box score, but if you actually watch the game, look at the confidence that he plays with. Look at the intangibles that he brings to the game. I just really like what Landry Shamet is able to bring to the game. So shout out to Landry Shamet for the contribution that you gave. Tyler Kolek didn't get that starting nod tonight. He was the backup point guard to Delon Wright. He ended the game with 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3-point line, with 5 assists in 17 minutes that he played. Mitchell Robinson, he only ended the game with 1 bucket in the 18 minutes that he played, with 2 points and 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. We have 10 games remaining. So if anything, Coach Tibbs needs to start really using Mitchell Robinson. This is where we really need to ramp up the minutes for Mitchell Robinson to make sure that he has the stamina, to make sure that he has the conditioning, to make sure that he has just a feel for the game back, because playoffs is right around the corner, man. Like I said earlier, 10 games remaining. Actually, no, now it's 9 games. After today including today's game, was actually 10 games. So now we only have 9 games remaining, which is what, a week and a half? So it's going to be very interesting. And before I wrap up the video, I kind of had this realization right before I went on the live, where the Milwaukee Bucks are actually in the 6th seed right now. This whole time, it was the Detroit Pistons, and I was kind of expecting us to match up with Detroit in the first round, but the Milwaukee Bucks are actually in the sixth slot, and we're the 3rd seed. So tonight's game was actually kind of important because it gave a little message as to what the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be seeing in the offseason. Now, of course, we don't have Jalen, we don't have Deuce, we don't have Campaign, so we don't have our whole team, and we were still able to get that W. It's the regular season, so I'm not going crazy, but it gave us a glimpse as to what the Milwaukee Bucks personnel is. And if you guys are in tune with the NBA world, and you guys saw the report that a couple days ago, I believe, where Damian Lillard is going to be out because he has a blood clot in his right calf. I'd probably say 90% of the time, whenever there's a report of a player having blood clots, whether if it's Wemby with his shoulder, Damian Lillard with his right calf, that is the play. That pretty much means that the player is going to be out indefinitely with no timetable for a return. So Damian Lillard, for all intents and purposes, he's going to be out for the playoffs. So Milwaukee Bucks, they're missing Damian Lillard, the 1-2 punch of Giannis and Damian Lillard. We still haven't seen them in the playoffs, which that actually might just be the way it is. We might never ever see Damian Lillard and Giannis in the playoffs, depending on what they do this offseason. I don't know what the situation is with their contracts and I don't know what the cap capability is with all the Milwaukee Bucks. But it just sucks to see that Damian Lillard is not going to be able to partner up with Giannis this upcoming playoffs. But I'm not that sad because they're going to be facing us in the playoffs in the first round, and we're already going to have to deal with Giannis, and Giannis himself is a load to deal with. Tonight, he didn't have a really good game. I mean, he ended the box score with 30 points, 11 of 17 from the floor. He missed all 3 of his three-pointers, 8 of 11 from the free throw line, 7 assists, 9 rebounds in the 35 minutes that he played. Yeah, I mean, it's still a Giannis game. I mean, even the way to guard Giannis is literally still build a wall. Giannis still doesn't have a specific skill that we can point to and being like, you're really good at this. And him putting his head down and barreling through the defense, that's not a skill. He doesn't have a consistent jump shot, even though he's worked on it, and even though it's gotten a little better, it's still not to the point where we can say it's a consistent jump shot. But you're still in the argument for what, top 3, top 4 best players in the league, which is crazy. But me personally, if you're the best player on my team, I need you to have a specific skill. Do you have amazing ball handling skills? Do you have a consistent jump shot? Can you play make for yourself and others? And Giannis is kind of just like, let me put my head down, let me use my brute strength to get to the rim, and that's how he gets all his points. So that's my gripe with Giannis. But this was a very interesting game because this was a bit of a preview of what we're gonna see in the playoffs in the first round. And yeah, Giannis is going to be a load to deal with. So we ended up sweeping the regular season series with the Milwaukee Bucks. We went 3-0. And the key contributions from everybody on this team in this game tonight was absolutely chef's kiss. Delon Wright really impressed me what he was able to show. But I'm going to keep it at that, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the Knicks' effort tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. Let me know if you guys were as surprised learning that Delon Wright was going to get the starting nod over Tyler Kolek. Let me know what you guys think about the matchup between the Knicks and the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. But until next time, you know the drill, you know the vibes. It's Queens all day. Queens get the money. Queens get the money, long time, no cash. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Queens, baby. I'm out. Peace.